YouTube that won't be able to see my beautiful face. And I'm sorry for you guys, but hey, that's how it rolls and that's how things happen. Welcome, you guys on YouTube. I'm sorry today you ain't gonna see my pretty face because just before I decide to go live and get started, well, the camera decides to not work. That does happen. You gotta know it does happen, but that ain't gonna prevent me to show you the value, the things I've got to share with you today. It's going to be a bit strange because I'm used to see myself on the camera, but today is going to be a bit different. Let me just ping people into the room, into the clubhouse room, because we want to get as many people in as possible. Yes, we want to invite as many people as possible. So guys, if you are in the room, make sure you ping somebody. Make sure that if you're on the live stream, you share this live stream with somebody that needs to see what we're going to talk about today. What are we going to talk about today, Gabriel? Well, I was just going to tell you what we're going to talk about, which is something extremely interesting and something that I don't see a lot of people talking about. So stay tuned to see what we're going to talk about today. Now, let me tell you exactly in details what is the subject of today's episode. Today's episode is about how to make more sales without changing anything. And I know that can sound a little bit, you know, the kind of title you do for clickbait, because you're like, oh, that sounds cool, but well, there is no like process on how to exactly do that. And you're right. From this, I can go into tangents that will not actually give you results. But I figured out some ways that you can actually do that and that you can actually make little adjustments. I'm not talking about big changes where you got to change the whole product line, readjust everything, just little subtle changes, little things that are going to have an incredible impact. And that's what we're going to look at today and make sure we implement. For those who don't know me on YouTube, there's the way for you guys to see my face. My name is Gabriel Julié. I'm the founder of Julihey Media and Julihey Productions, and we get you as many customers as you can handle in as a few amount of time as possible. Depends on your business. It depends on your business. And we use revolutionary ways of doing marketing. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure you contact me. You can have my Instagram handle pretty much everywhere on this presentation. Now, let's go back to the subject of today's episode, how to make more sales without changing anything. The proven method. The proven method. Make sure you subscribe now because we do this Marketing Commandos shows every single Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I never missed a day since I decided to start. Never, ever. So make sure you stay there because, hey, this isn't the first show and this ain't going to be the last one. Let's go. With the first part of today's episode, you're just one adjustment away from 10xing your business. One simple adjustment away. What do I mean by that? Well, as I told you in the kind of preface, the préface, comme on dit in French, there are a lot of people giving you big things to implement and big concepts. And I love that because sometimes you got to change the way you think about things. But there are also other ways, other little tactics you could implement, other things that are quick pivots and not big changes. And those things you can actually see a ton of results doing them. And I'm going to talk about, you guys, those small pivots. Now, the thing that you got to understand is that you just have to realize that you got to focus on the things that move the needle the most without making you work the most for it. So you got to take those things that are really easy, low-hanging fruits, great opportunities that if you can change, it doesn't require you a lot more time or a lot amount of money to actually change, but they do give you a ton of results. So those are the things that we're going to focus on talking right now. And one of those things, and I see a ton of people not doing that, and only the few that realize how to do this are the greatest. So if you want to be the greatest, make sure you listen to this one. It's about pivoting your message. Pivot. And I'm always going to be talking about pivoting, how you can pivot your message, because that's really the way you should think about things. Let me tell you why. People, when they're trying to sell you something, they always kind of have their same ways to sell your stuff. And oftentimes that way isn't really good, which is awesome for you, because if you want to grab some market share, that's an incredible way for actually getting some. Now, the thing is about the pivoting of your message. What do I mean by that? How should you pivot it? How should you adjust it? One of the things that you got to realize is that it's not about talking about the features. Everybody is talking about, okay, this is the car I'm going to sell you, and this is the feature it's going to have. It's having a sunroof, it has AC, it has this pretty screen in the right and middle. Well, you got to stop selling that way. The way you got to start selling is actually talking about benefits, how this feature is going to benefit the customer in the end, because they don't really care about having something that blocks the sun. What they really care is that they don't have the light in their faces so they can drive safely. Or maybe it's because, you know, their kids don't want their kids to have the sun right in their faces. They don't really care about a sunroof or something like that. They really care about how it's going to benefit them in the end. And that goes for every single product. I see that especially with people that are out-minded to be, you know, engineers, scientists, minds. And I'm one of them. As strange as it may seem, because my whole life I was actually going in the route of becoming somebody that was focused into science and biology and all those things like this. And I was putting degrees and ways to work that were actually really focused on the scientific way of deductive things. And I have this tendency of being really, okay, features, you know, really extremely logical. And it's not good whenever you are selling. You got to be extremely aware of the emotions and the reasons why your customer is actually willing to make that decision in the first place. And that's the way you should pivot your message. So on one-on-one setting, it can be easy because you can actually ask questions to figure it out. Now, we are oftentimes, because we're in a marketing Commandos show, we are oftentimes talking about how to do that with the masses, talking to a live like this, an Instagram live or episode or a YouTube video, whatever is the format that you decide to use. Now, how can you do that where you cannot ask questions and get responses? Well, the way to do that is actually do your research beforehand and figure out what are the desires, the deepest desires and biggest pains your customers have. Biggest desires and biggest pains. Because when you figure that out, you are able to see and talk with the benefits they want in the end. As I talked to you about previously, so don't talk about the features. Focus on the benefits you know for your customers so you can actually get the best results. And that's a small pivot. Like, I'm not talking to you about changing your whole script. I'm just talking to you about what you should focus on. Those little pivots, small adjustments, but they're going to make a huge difference. Stop talking about features and start talking about the end results, the benefits that the buyer is going to get. Okay. Now, the second thing I want you guys to talk about, again, small change. And it's again in the messaging, the way you sell your product. It's maybe more including in the packaging of it. It's about creating a unique solution. A unique solution. What do I mean by a unique solution? I'm into the online marketing space, and I know a guy. I think you know him, Frank Kern. If you guys know Frank Kern, incredible guy, and he doesn't do marketing services anymore. I think so. But one of the big aspects that made him different for his competition was the fact that in his offer, it was pretty much saying, or opening with a line like this, saying that, hey, if you're not satisfied with services, no problem. You can actually cancel anytime, and we will give you a refund of 20% of the service fee, plus the full refund of what they actually purchased the service at. And they're like, oh, as a customer, it's a no-brainer because you can basically get more customers at a free cost. And whatever happens, if you're not happy with it, you actually make some money in return. So what's the catch? Well, they're just extremely good and they're confident in getting you the results. And that's one thing that you got to figure out. What is the angle that you can use? And as you can see, it's a bold but unique angle. Not a lot of people are willing to do that. And you can do the same in your industry. Now, I cannot tell you what to do. Maybe I can help you out, give you some ideas, but there are tons of ways you can do that. Maybe add more urgency, find a way you're different, or it can simply be something ballsy like that. But definitely use those things as your advantage because there are free opportunities for you to grab some market share. So use them a ton, a ton, a ton. Now, one of the things that you got to realize, and that's maybe the most important thing besides all this, the techniques and the pivots are extremely important. But one of the things that, well, extremely efficient is actually go fastest and further into the same direction. That also works instead of pivoting in the right one. If you do go faster, you're going to get to the destination. Maybe not the right one, but you're going to figure out really faster, much, much faster where you actually are. And so you can readjust after that. So take more actions. And that's one thing I figured out the hard way recently. I wanted to do an event in a few months. And actually, I went into a clubhouse room with one of my actually multiple friends, entrepreneur friends, and they were like, man, why are you doing it in 5 months from now? I was like, yeah, because I gotta take all this time to promote it. And there is a reason why. This isn't a reason, a valuable reason. My goal was to help entrepreneurs, business owners to get some results and to improve their lives. Because I want to make as much impact as possible on this planet. And my way to doing that was to do an event like this. And they were like, man, if that's true, people need your help right now. Some people are going to be needing your help right now in 1 month, 2 months, tomorrow, but not in a few months from now. And you're not going to be able to touch those people. And they were right. And that made me realize I need to think way bigger into the activity that I'm putting into my promotion and all the other things I'm doing with my business. Because one rule of thumb in music is if I think I should be promoting a certain amount of things, I'm 10xing this amount, meaning that you think you should be doing 5 posts for this campaign, do 50. You think you should be doing, I don't know, 10 variations for this ad, make 100. You think you should be doing 1 event, do 10. So you can actually have a big event with a lot of momentum behind that. And that's what the mentality I've acquired recently. It's extremely different and hectic sometimes, but I guarantee you that it can definitely give you the results that you hope for. And oftentimes, way more than you actually thought in the beginning, which is the key, because that's how we're going to grow. We're going to grow as fast as possible. Did you guys like what I just shared with you? If so, make sure you ping somebody to the room, because we're just getting started and going into the first section, actually the second section of today's episode. Question and answer. I got a few questions that I see a lot of people asking me oftentimes, and I'm going to answer them right now. I struggle to sell my products or services. What should I do? Well, one of the things that I always advise is to go back to the basics. When I say that are you selling to an hungry crowd and a crowd that can actually pay for your services? If not, you can try to sell them as much as you possibly can. It's just not going to happen. Number 2, do you actually propose something they want? That's extremely important, because if they do not need your solution and are not already buying or looking for getting that, well, you're going to work really hard to actually sell that. Number 3, are you actually selling it in a way that's making them take action? And if you follow those 3 pillars, you're going to see that, well, you do not have to change your business or change anything like that. It's just small adjustments, small pivots, but they are going to make a huge difference in the way you sell your product and in the way and in the amount you make money. Now, question number 2. What is the one thing you can do to improve your sales the mostest? Now, I can give you multiple reasons. I gotta truly dive deep into your situation, but if I gotta give you one thing and one thing only, that thing would be going back to the basics and really figuring out what is my product, how can I make it the most attractive, and what is the way I can sell it to. I always say it like this: sell people what they want and give them what they need. Meaning sometimes they're going to need that certain thing, but you are going to sell it to them in a certain way that they feel, oh, this is the thing I need. to actually, for them to actually take the decision to say, yes, I need this. But then in the back end, you're going to give them what they want. Hey, this is the thing that you want. I'm also going to do the work necessary that I know because I'm the expert that you need so you can actually get the results that you want. All right. So it's going back to the basics and selling them what they want, giving them what they need. Number 12. How do you identify what your client wants? And that's a big question I ask myself, because people go into business being like, yeah, they for sure want my services. If I build it, if I do it, they will come. Sorry to break it to you, it ain't gonna happen. You gotta see what they do want and sell it to them in a certain way they like it enough so they can pay you some money. Now, how can you actually figure out that thing? One of the ways that I like to use, actually there are two ways. Number one, straight up ask them, what do you need? What are your biggest problems? And then you deduct a solution with that thing in mind. Second thing, if you want to look at more seriously, and then you get a bit more data, is actually one of my favorite ways to do some research. Go to Google or Amazon, websites like that, where people are looking for getting something because of a problem they got. You look up to there, for example, books and things like that, and you look into reviews, comments, and see what people are talking about, what they are looking for, what they missed, what they really needed, what they were happy they got, and then you can have an idea of what you can craft to get them the best thing they actually need. Then you just have to figure out the right angle to sell it to them. Now, if you guys liked this section, the questions, make sure you share the live stream with somebody that needs it, and you share and you ping somebody into the room, actually, because we're going to go into the top 3 small pivots that will drastically improve your sales. Small pivots as always, but those pivots will make a huge difference in the way you make money in your business. Number 1, have a unique opportunity. A unique opportunity is something that helps you to differentiate yourself from your competitors, meaning that it's not, people are always trying to say, oh, my product is better than yours. I've got a better offer than yours. I'm doing the best marketing services. I'm selling the best cars. I'm doing the best agricultural services on the planet. Well, that's cool. But the problem is that you have to put much more work into actually proving this and making customers believe that. And then they're like, yeah, okay, I guess it's better. I got to see it. While when you come with a unique, new opportunity, what happens is that they're like, oh, this is new. This is the new way to do things. Oh, that's interesting. And that gets better, way better results than having what we call an improvement offer. Look for unique opportunities, unique offers, instead of improvement offers. That's the way to do a small pivot. Is really efficient, by the way. Number 2, I talked about this before. Sell them what they want, give them what they need, meaning that whenever you are having a customer that's telling you, oh, I really need this, Gabriel, I really need that. Okay, and you ask a few more questions and you realize that they actually, maybe they need this, but oftentimes they also need 10 other things that they don't know because you are the experts, but you got to put in the package because it does make sense for them. But if you try to tell them, no, actually what you need is this, they're going to be like, hold on. I don't like what you just said because they believe they need something, and that thing that they just had in mind is going to be the thing they really want. But with this, you should also give them the things that they need. So the best way for you to actually get them to buy, to make the decision, is to sell them what they want. Make them want to say yes to you with the thing that they really want. And then in the back end, you give them what they actually need as well. Number 3, being the prolific zone. I talked about this, I think, like maybe 10 episodes ago. The prolific zone is extremely a great concept to understand. And it starts like this. Imagine a curve. And on these curves, it's like waves. Imagine waves. And in the middle, you got a peak of a wave. And in the middle of this wave, you got the mainstream. All right. And the mainstream, the problem with the mainstream is that actually, if you're selling a product that's in the mainstream, meaning that is in the area where everybody thinks or know it works. For example, if you're selling weight loss programs, and I tell you, yes, okay, you gotta have less calories than what you take in, so you can actually lose some weight. Well, that's cool and that works. That's actually the thing that you should do, but that's not, really sexy. I don't really want to buy that. Also, going back to, what I just told you guys, sell them what they want and then give them what they need, because they actually need to have that, but they're not really attracted to this idea. Then on the other extremes, you have, well, the extremes. And on those extremes, you got some things that are so crazy they are not really believable by your customer. Let's say, for example, this is really sunny in France right now, great weather. Let's say there is a way, even if it's proven, there is a way for you to actually lose weight while being in front of the sun. Just like breathing in and being in front of the sun. You maybe look at me like, ain't so sure about that, Gabriel. I'm not so sure about this. While it may be true, it's not really believable. What you need to do is to be right into the middle. So you got your two extremes and you got the middle. You should be right in the middle. And between the extremes and the mainstream is the profitable, the prolific zone. That's when it's crazy enough. So you're like, oh, I didn't heard about that. That seems interesting, the new opportunity. And that should be the sexy enough that it attracts me to believe it's the solution for me. Again, selling them what they want, giving them what they really need. All right. Maybe you're going to give them sunscreen so they can actually be in front of the sun so they can lose some weight. I don't know what's in your business, but you got to do what you got to do to give them some results. Now, bonus tip. Positioning is everything, as I told you guys. The better your ability is to, in your strategic approach, to be different from the competition in the way you position yourself, the easier it's going to be for you down the road. Meaning that if you're trying to sell to a dry audience that doesn't want to buy your products, and because they don't have money, second, the product isn't something they're looking for, then you're not selling it in a way that's compelling, well, you're asking for trouble. So it's all about having the right positioning in the first place. And those are not big changes. It's just small readjustments in the way you do things. And let me tell you, that helps out a ton, because if you're not positioned into the right market, into selling into the right niche, or talking to the right people, or selling them the right way, you're going to have a lot more work to do. And a ton of people don't do this work. I want you to do this because it's going to help you a ton down the road and amplify the amount of results you can get without changing anything, actually. Now, if you guys did like this, share the live stream, because we are going into the best part of today's episode. My favorite one, because it gives you an action plan to do. Now, let me tell you what it's going to be today. Put your competition out of business with these simple hacks. And I'm going to tell you what those hacks are. Number one, the faster you go from idea, and that's more of a concept to grasp first. The faster you go from idea to promotion, the more money it will make. That's something I actually learned from Grant Cardone. The thing is that people always are looking to, oh, I'm creating this product. Well, I got to create the product first before selling it to people. No, you're losing months of potential promotion that you're not using to your advantage. And when you're going to be finished with your product, you're going to stop promoting and you lost a bunch of time. When you can actually be, documenting the process of you creating the product, and that can be an extremely intelligent way to promote it. So the cycle goes like this: idea, promotion, not idea creation, idea, promotion. And while you're promoting, you're creating your thing. And you're doing the rest of the process and the steps needed. But the faster you go from idea to promotion, I got this idea, let me do a post. The faster you go from idea to promotion, the more money you will be able to make with your products. Now, number two, create an offer that's irresistible. And I for you guys that are not on YouTube, you don't see my slides, but I put it irresistible. Actually, written it the wrong way, but anyway, irresistible in like big caps. And why is that? Because if you do not have an offer is by essence different in a good way, of course, to your competition. Well, people are going to look at you guys and they are just going to compare price. And price is not a way to give value. The best way you can give value is actually to add things and to build a value well, without taking out money of the equation. What do I mean by that? If you compare two products, and I see that some sellers are doing it on Amazon, not a lot, of course, they will do better if they did. But for example, let's say they sell you, because I'm into working out, let's say they sell you some dumbbells. Okay, imagine dumbbells. You're looking for dumbbells on Amazon, right? You're typing away, looking for dumbbells, and you see a few different type of dumbbells. Well, what are you actually going to do? You're going to see the one that you like the most, see in that category which ones, okay, which do I really want, and then you're going to battle on price, see which one is the cheapest, right? That's going to be the thing that you're going to be looking for. But imagine that there were two exact same dumbbells, all right? But there was one that actually had a guide with 100 different exercises you can do with it. All of a sudden, you are not looking at two different products, you're looking at two different value propositions. And if the price is the same, and you give me for free the guide with 100 exercises with those dumbbells, I'm taking the one with the exercise and the dumbbells. Now you are not comparing prices, you're comparing offers with different value. And you're not selling a commodity anymore. That gives you the opportunity to get better results and actually get more money for your same products. The guide, the 100 exercise guide, you just made it one time and then you just kind of put it in there and then it's done, you know. You don't have to pay for it anymore. That's an interesting way to add some value. But that's a topic for another episode. Number 3, promote like a total maniac. A total maniac. The crazier you go at it, the better. Let me tell you something. You cannot even imagine how much is posted on the internet. If you are just talking about content, the amount of content that's posted every day is humongous. It's not even conceivable for our minds. I think there was that, and it was years ago, so it's maybe double that number compared to right now. But more than 1 billion with a B, like Bob, minutes of YouTube videos are watched every day. And I don't want to say that I applauded because I think it was that, but let me tell you, that's a lot of YouTube videos. And people think, oh, I'm posting 1 video a month or 1 video a week on YouTube. That's enough. Oh, you're funny. Oh, you're funny. You will never be able to post enough. That's not something that you're like, okay, I'm done posting. I've done enough. People are going to see me now. You can always do more. And there are people saying, yeah, but the algorithm actually pushes you out more if you post less. And I'm saying BS. Like, imagine you're in the city and you have one person that has one tiny little poster somewhere, and the guy's like, oh, that's enough. People are going to call me and be like, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money. And then you got the guy, Coca-Cola, that's everywhere on every side of the roads with big things, like extremely good looking drinks everywhere on each side of the road. And you think, oh, my little drink is going to, get a few customers. It ain't gonna happen, because the more aggressive you're into the promotion, wherever you're doing a promotion, the more aggressive you can do, the better. And it's all about expanding your mind to see how much more aggressive you can go, because you're not able to conceive it at first, but when you do realize how aggressive you can actually be, you get a ton of results, and you actually are able to get the results that you dream of, which is the most important part of it. Now, guys, this week I've got a very special thing for you guys today. I'm running a special entrepreneurial success summit for every business owners that is looking to 10x their business this year. This year, it's on May 9th to the 13th. It's going to be a summit. I'm going to bring the best entrepreneurs of my entourage, and I want you guys to be a part of that. It's 100% free. You can register and be able to watch this. And if you want to get the link, it's Gabriel. No, it's not GabrielJulié.com. Changing the link. It's JuliheyMedia.com/summit. JuliheyMedia.com/summit. For you guys on YouTube, you can actually see it on the screen. For you guys on Clubhouse, I think it's way easier for you guys. Sorry, YouTube, but you can actually just click the bubble that's on top of the screen. That's way easier for you guys. Now, let's go over what we just talked about today. Number one, big changes aren't required to make a lot more money. Look for small pivots. You can do small adjustments, not big changes, small adjustments that are going to make the difference, because those things are actually extremely rentable when you're looking in the amount of time or money you invested, resources in general, and the amount of results it generates. So look at those little things, low-hanging fruits that you can change. Your positioning, the way you run your offers, the way you do things. You don't have to change your business or do anything like that. Just small adjustments, small pivots that are going to make the most amount of results. Number two, have a unique opportunity, a new opportunity, because if you're looking to just sell a better offer than your competitor, you're going to have to compete on price, and it's going to be a commodity to commodity, meaning that the one's going to sell the lowest is going to win. And if you're not able to profit with a low margins, if you're not the Walmart, you cannot win the war. So there is an actually interesting advantage to be the one that charges the most. So what can you do in order to do that? You add some value instead of decreasing the price. That's a way to build value. So add more things to packages, build up offers, not just products, offers, bundle a bunch of things to actually get the value higher. Number three, promote like a total maniac. The crazier you can go, the more results you're going to get. And there is no limit to that. There is no point you're going to tell me, oh, you've posted enough. Even if I posted a YouTube video every damn second of the day, there is still some room to do better. It's never gonna be enough, never. We are in a space where the internet is so vast and have such a huge, tremendous amount of content that is posted every day, you cannot even imagine. It's like a grain of salt in the desert. It's nothing. And whatever it is, that the amount of content you're posting, even if you're dropping a bucket of sand in the desert, it's still a bucket in the freaking desert. So don't have this limited mindset of saying, oh, I've done enough, I've posted enough, I've done enough. Be extremely aggressive in the way you promote your product, your services. That's going to be the best way for you to actually win. And I don't care how much complaints you're going to get, because the more complaints you actually get, the closer you actually get to your goal to actually get the results you want. Now, make sure you get advantage, take advantage of the Special Entrepreneurial Success Summit. I'm going to bring the best talent in the world to you for free. So check it out. It's www.juliheymedia.com/summit. The link is in the Clubhouse room for the Clubhouse guys. The link is on the screen for the YouTube guys. And all guys, make sure you share the live stream. Make sure you ping this room, share the link of this room to somebody that needs to see this, that needs to make those small changes that makes huge difference. And I see you guys on the next episode. Remember, every Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, your boy Gabriel is going to share with you the best